What's going on, Scotty? How you doing today?
I love that music. I
It's so
love
much
that
fun, isn't it?
music. It's pretty awesome. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. What is
Hey,
today's project?
today's project, I've got this brand new canister filter right next to me, and I've never set up a canister before, so this is going to be a huge adventure.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to make you bigger. So it's a Fluval.
Fluval 407.
Okay. I know nothing about canisters, so I will not be able to offer you any of my expertise, but I'm here for moral support. I've
Okay,
never had a canister. I know nothing about them.
that's all I ask for. I've never had one either.
And
This is gonna be
so
super
I
interesting.
thought the Fluvals were like the FXs or something like that.
That's a different line of their canister filters that they've got.
Oh, they have
Like an
multiple.
FX2, FX4, FX6.
All right. All
I
right.
don't know what the difference is, honestly. This is just what the local fish store told me I need for the 75 gallons, so that's what I went with.
Well, I'm going to say some hellos, and then we can ask the chat what the differences are.
All right.
We'll let them be the experts. All right. We got Lando. We got Red Laser. We got Cosmin. There's this Crypt Keeper dude in here. We got Sarah. We got Frank. He's from New York City, apparently. We got Mark Sterlson, Red Laser. I hear he said, I think. There's Laura, who was being called Latoya yesterday. I laughed. Poor Rico. I mean, Laura, Latoya, they're basically one and the same. You see one, you're going to see the other, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I was watching Rico's replay, and he accidentally, he felt so bad about it, but I was cracking up. Laura has never had a canister filter either. We have Dennis Christensen. Hello, sir. Atkins is here. Linda. Hello, Linda. Dixie Doe. Never heard that name. But hello, welcome. We have Kalish. Let's see here. Okay.
I see we got the devil in here today, too.
Who? What? You're.
The devil's here already.
Oh, hold on. I'm not ready to deal with her yet. Jesus. We got Fish Family. We got it jumped there, Skipper. And Kalish has the 407. See?
All right.
Perfect. Kalish, tell us all about it, please. All right. We got My Fish Tank Aquatics. Welcome. There's the Devil Demon. And we got Nathan. And start by throwing away the manual. I like your thinking, Cosby. Dennis has the 307. Okay, that's close to the 407, I'm assuming. Mimic Nature, welcome. Twins and the brothers. Now it's us fish friends. Nice. And I'm caught up. All right, start doing work.
Okay. So first I'm going to open this box for you guys because this is going to be used to set up the filter. I am putting CO2 in line with it.
Oh, so nice.
This from Aqua Rocks, Colorado. And let's see what he sent.
And Cora Works is here. Welcome. I've heard a lot of good things about that store.
This is my first time ordering from them. It was suggested by a Facebook group that deals with CO2 planted tanks.
And it's right by where Bex and Geek Boy live, and they recommend it. And there was when Steven and Jenna went out there, they checked it out as well. All right, so that's the regulator.
The user.
And what brand is that?
It's written in Chinese.
I don't speak Chinese.
51co2.com.
Okay. Mark Sterlson has the 307 and a 407. They're fantastic filters. So, Mark, what is the big difference between the two? That's a big hose.
That's what she said.
Right. Should have been at our talk about Saturday about CO2. That's right. ACLC had a talk about CO2 and fertilizers at our monthly meeting. How dare you not drive all the way from New York for a club meeting? Let's see here. Fishyon's here. Welcome. And there's Matt. Welcome, Matt. It says, hey, Tim, who's the little guy in the bottom right? Hey, I'm showing more of my body than I normally do, damn it. And the devil, she's got some great advice here. Don't keep your hose in the bathroom like Stefan.
All right, so inside the box, I've got some rib toes.
Okay.
And these parts here with a little picture on the back shows.
Oh, that's great. I love pictures.
Yep. They're the easiest to read.
Mm-hmm. So Mark says a little bit of flow is about the only difference between them. So that's good.
Got the filter and a bunch of papers. And that's the whole box.
And Alshon's here and says, thanks for that image, Scotty. I don't know what he's talking about. And ask Crypt if he killed his hooker moss yet.
No, the hooker's still alive. Doing very, very well.
We're doing good with our hose and our hookers. What has the stream turned into, Crypt? And caught up for a second. Nice. Can you angle your camera down a hair?
Yeah, let me just move this one over here. Hold on a second.
Just so we can see what you're doing.
Is that better?
All right, let me make that one bigger. There we go. Now we're cooking. So what all do you have in that? So is that how it came, or did you do something there? What?
Okay, so how it came, this was clipped on top of here.
Okay.
And this was on top of here.
Okay.
So I undid these two side clips.
Okay.
And this whole thing lifted up.
All right.
Then I started to take this out.
Oh, wow.
And there's like a bunch of different bags of media in here, so I'm just unwrapping all of these. I don't even know if I'm putting them in here in the correct order. I'm just putting them in here. So we'll find out. I'm
sure pay attention, everyone. If he's doing something wrong, start yelling at us.
My God, how much carbon did they give me?
Welcome, Shady Grady. Are those like little bio balls?
Yes, they're like rings.
Yep.
And I just lost half of them.
Minor details. Frank says hello to you.
How you doing?
And the great Jenna P is here.
What's up? Okay, and those aren't wrapped, so they can stay just like that.
So that's kind of like filter floss. What's the material of the green?
The green's kind of like a sponge.
Sponge?
Like,
okay.
Yeah, it's like pretty firm. I don't know, almost like a synthetic Brillo pad.
Mm-hmm. Shady Grady says he put some coarse sponge in the bottom tray and all media in the upper trays in mine, and it worked great.
So this top tray, it's got the synthetic Brillo pad type material, and then carbon. The second tray down is just carbon.
Interesting.
And this is just how they had it in here. I don't know if there's a better way to do it.
Shady Grady says that's a phosphate sponge.
Oh, okay. That's good. That'll help reduce some algae. But it'll also limit the phosphate being able to feed the plants too. So,
yeah,
double-edged sword there. Then there's just filter floss and this sponge here.
Okay. I've never seen one of these before. Out of the box.
This is my very first time, so I'm super excited.
Shady Grady says don't trust them. And Mark says he ditched the where'd it go? He ditched the carbon and added more media.
Okay. That's good to know.
And Frank says what brand? It's a Fluval 407.
And then this here is just some coarse sponge material. And that was in the other side of it.
Okay. And Shady Grady says the bottom tray is perfect. And Shady Grady does not use any carbon. And Nathan does not use carbon either.
Okay, so there's that. So now I'm going to look at this diagram, see if I can't figure out how this goes together.
Okay.
But I do have a spray bar that I'm going to be adding onto it as well. So that's also going to be another curveball.
Okay. And Shady Grady says he's been using a 407 for nearly 10 years now. Is that the same one or just that model you've been running? And let's see here. So no, if you set it up like that, it will become a nitrate factory. Other way around. Oh, this is a joke. I don't have any advice for canisters. More okay. Shady Grady, I have 3 of them and 2 307s. Wow. And Mark also recommends a co-op intake sponge. Kalish says, do not cut the hose until you've measured your lengths at least twice.
Okay.
Let's see here. That looks like a valve.
Yeah, I'm assuming that this goes on the top piece here somehow. Maybe.
My Fish Tank Aquatic says activated carbon is good if you're doing fake plants. Shady Grade says I just have to replace the impellers a couple of times.
Okay, so that's how this goes in. So on the top side, it pushes down and then that lever locks it in.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty neat. Nathan's tip is put the intake on the tank with the hose and then cut it at the filter instead of connecting hose to filter first.
Oh, okay.
And Dennis also recommends the co-op intake sponge, as well as Mark.
Oh, okay. I think I've got one of those laying around here, actually.
The gray one adjusts the flow. Were you holding a gray valve?
I think they're referring to this tab here.
Yeah, that adjusts the flow.
Oh, okay.
Everyone said at the same time. Shady, Mark, and Kalish all said it at the same time. Nathan used a heat gun or hair dryer to warm the hose to get the kinks out. And Koro likes undergravel filters. That's the spray bar now you're messing with?
No, this is the intake tube. That's going on real tight. I hope this is the right spot for it. Okay, I think I got it tight enough. So that's what the water goes into, that tube there. Now we'll assemble the spray bar.
Apparently, the older ones have corrugated tubing.
Yeah, this is a ribbed tubing, or I don't know if you would call that corrugated. I don't know if that's showing on my camera at all.
Oh, I switched them. Hold on. Sorry. There you go.
So that's the tube that came with the filter. And I bought this tube that way I can connect the inline CO2.
Okay. Stephen P. is here.
What's up, Steven? I think he's done some work with canisters before, too. He did a DIY CO2.
What's this thing called? A Fluval 407. 307. 407? 407.
407.
Oh, okay. The green tubing is Eheim tubing. And Shady Grady didn't realize that you bought it separately. Oh. Steven has 2 of the 407s and 1 307 and an FX6. Laura's trying to show off her DIY skills. She said she could make that spray bar with PVC.
I bet it would be a lot stronger, too. This feels like a pretty cheap plastic. I don't even know if this looks right, but that's how I got the pieces to fit together.
Oh.
I don't know if that's right or not, but that's.
Hold on, show it again. Okay. And Shady Grady says that's going to spray out of that bar like Niagara Falls.
Good.
And Shady Grady says make sure you aim it down at first.
Yeah, that would be a pretty horrible accident.
And Mark said that it does last even with his rough handling.
I'm almost thinking that one of these ends should be plugged, though, so I'm hoping...
Kalish says you did it right.
Yeah, but the end of the spray bar should be plugged, right? Because otherwise it won't spray. It'll just come out the one end instead of coming out all those little holes. So I'm wondering if one of the ends of these 2 tubes is hidden with a connector.
Let's see what they said.
Yeah, I can't see through it, so one of them is. And it got stuck in the middle piece here. Lovely.
And it just jumped. Kayla said yes, you need to plug it. Steven said I have no experience with other canister brands besides Flugel, but they work fine, no complaints. Horo says yes, the spray bar is plugged.
All right, let's try this again. So what do you have coming up in November, Scotty?
It's funny you asked that. Let me think. When is it? November 11th is the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County swap. It's held at that fish place, that pet place, which is huge. And in the past, all the past ones have been extremely successful. So we worked with the store to expand the area. And we now can hold more vendors for this event. And the list has been posted on social media of who's going to be there. Pretty awesome list. A lot of the same people that you see at the Keystone Clash. And it's a good time. It's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, it's called That Fish Place, That Pet Place. It's on Centerville Road in Lancaster. And it's going to be a good time.
Does this whole thing come apart?
Different tubing. Steven's asking different tubing. Which part are you talking about there? LJ Shrimp and Lake to Land Aquatics and Owls and Pets, or whatever the heck the name is going to be there as a vendor.
Steven, so this here's the tubing that came with the pump. I got this tubing here because I'm going to be hooking up CO2 inline. How does this disconnect?
So what is that piece in your hand?
It hangs the hose over the edge of the tank, I'm guessing.
Oh.
Kind of clips on there. I'm seeing if I can't get it opened all the way. That way it goes onto the hose easier. So it looks like it's got clips here, right?
Looks like plastic that can break.
Yep, that too.
It has tabs on it. It's Mark said. It comes apart completely, Kalish says.
Yeah, I'm just not smarter than a monkey, so I can't get it. There we go.
I knew you could do it.
Okay, so probably have to get a hair dryer and heat the hose up to be able to bend to that curve.
I don't have one of them. Steven said you're going to need boiling water or heat gun for those hose hanger clips to work with the Eheim tubing.
Okay, keep everyone entertained. I'm going to get some water going.
Okay. I wasn't prepared for that. I'm eating potato chips. We got 21 people here. Welcome, everyone. Come on, Tim. Don't set mankind back thousands of years. That's funny. Dance, Scotty, dance. No, I work today. I'm tired. Not happening. But I'll flip this around. Laura, what all are you going to have at the ACLC swap? Let's see. What else we got? Also, while everyone's gone, did everyone hear the amazing speaker lineup for the 2024 Keystone Clash? What are your thoughts on it? Are there any names that you're not familiar with that you want to hear about on the speaker
Can we
list?
just hear about all of them?
I guess. And Big Shrimpin's here, but he changed his name. That's really going to screw me up.
Yeah, I thought I saw his name change last night in Grant's stream.
Big Steve's Aquatics and Exotics. All right, let me see here. Let me pull something up so I can tell you who's going to be talking at the Keystone Clash. Here it is. Okay. And so we have... Oh, hold on. We got some good information here. Frank says the J gets flipped around to hook on the tent. Big Shrimpin saying he didn't see me. Well, open your eyes. Kayla says, yes, what's up with those eater people, right? And Laura at the swap is going to have Orange Neos, Tangerine Tigers that got second place. Might have some Ghost Bee Caradina, unless Crypt calls dibs. Have black and red crystals. And Latoya will have all the homemade fish food stuffs. Nice. So, we're going to have at the 2024 Keystone Clash, Grant and Shelby, they're each going to do a talk, and then they're going to do one together. Lily Wong, that's I always forget her damn name.
She does the she's doing the Wikipedia for fish, isn't she?
Yeah, the database. It's got a name. I always forget it. That's terrible. But she was better at I like it. I like it. Lily ichthyologist. Thank you, Kalish. And welcome, Bob. So yeah, she's going to be doing a presentation. We have Chris Meckley. He is big into the saltwater world. He's going to be doing a lot of talks about corals, or 2 talks about coral, which is pretty awesome. Jessica Bullock, she is from Canada. She's going to be coming down talking about cichlids, dwarf cichlids, and a more general talk about cichlids. And then we have Mo Devlin. He's a cichlid guy, but he's also probably the most famous aquarium hobby photographer. And so he's going to be doing 2 talks on photography. Steve Bitter. Steve Bitter is or was, I'm not sure, or both, I guess, a curator at public aquariums. He's going to be talking about, he's a killifish keeper. He's going to do a killifish talk. And then he's also going to be talking about health and quarantine. We have Rebecca Bentley, freshwater ichthyology from the UK. She'll be talking about plecos and fish diets, I believe. And then the biggest one, most likely, for the event, Dr. Anton Lamboy. He is from Austria and will be talking on anabantoids and something else. Crap, I forget. Let me check. I forget what his other topic is. Care species. That's what it is. Anabantoids and cares.
So this CO2 reactor doesn't actually look difficult to install at all. The CO2 would go into there just like as if you were attaching it to your regulator. And then the hose goes on each end here, the green hose for the.
Wow.
So that seems cool. Really simple.
And
just waiting on that water to boil.
Okay. So yeah, pretty awesome lineup, I think. Very diverse. We still have that YouTube presence with Grant, Shelby, and Rebecca. But we also got quite a bit of nerdiness, I guess you could say, which I think is perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Definitely can't wait.
And Laura sent a report to CARES 2 weeks ago. Nothing yet. Yeah, the CARES organization is very challenging. And that frustrates the crap out of me because CARES is something I'm very passionate about. And it should be easier for people to use to encourage people. Yeah, it sucks. Nathan is going to have to fast for blood work. That sucks.
That's no fun.
Yeah, that sucks. And yes, Bob, he's going to do an inline CO2. That's what the green hose is for.
Yep. I'm just waiting on some water to boil. That way I can connect the green hose to this clip hanger thing. And then we'll get it all set up and running, hopefully. So I might as well hook the CO2 up to this now while we've got a second.
Good idea.
First, we're going to fill it up with water. That way we can count the bubbles.
Fish Tropic Canada is here. Welcome.
Oh no, something dropped. One of the seals. Shoot. Guess it's a good time to pick up the wrappers that are on the floor since I dropped one of the seals for that thing. It's like spring loaded in here, and I opened it up and the top seal popped out of here. There should be something in here. Unless my eyes were just playing tricks on me when I saw the spring. But
And Coro says you can use mineral oil if you don't want to worry about refilling the bubble counter. Steven says there is a spring.
is there a seal with that spring? I've got the spring, but did something else pop out of here?
Steven says you're good.
Okay.
Make sure both ends have an O-ring, he said.
Yeah, there's a red O-ring on both ends.
Then you're good.
All right, so there's that. I'm going to go check that water quick.
That's a good idea.
Should be boiling by now.
Big shrimping, that's a pretty good idea. With the paper towels, I would have never thought of that. Good idea.
What was the idea with the paper towels?
If you use mineral oil and it explodes in your tank, use paper towels on the top to absorb it.
Oh, yeah. I do that when I'm making chicken stock or beef stock and I want it to be extra clear. I'll kind of swipe a paper towel over the top surface.
I've never done any of that.
Steve, have you ever worked in a kitchen before?
The boiling water is to make the hose more flexible.
Yep, and I've got the hose dipped into the boiling water right now. It's more flexible, but it still wants to kink on me.
Oh.
Hopefully it pops out when it cools. I don't know. So anyone in chat, do you think that's going to cause an issue if it's kinked like that?
Big Shrimpin, no professional kitchen work, but he cooks a lot. Mark Sterlson says you can use a slice of bread to absorb the fat from stock too. Jenna wants you to teach me how to cook. Kalish, they're talking about needles. Steven says this is why I hated the Eheim hose. And Big Shrimpin says yes, it will cause issues. And that's it.
So I should stop what I'm doing and try to figure out how to not get it to do this?
Yes, and Steven agrees that it will impede the flow. Laura says while you have it in the holder, put the whole thing in the hot water.
Okay. Almost knocked my camera over. So the meeting coming, or the swap meet coming up in November. I was kind of briefly explaining to you before the stream that I'm not positive I'll be able to make it down there. I did have a back injury a little while ago, and I'm trying to recover from that. My back's messed up, my hip, my leg is all numb. So depending on how that goes, will determine whether or not I make the 6-hour drive down to Pennsylvania.
That sucks.
I'd really like to, but
Big Shrimpin says he used a hair dryer. Steven says maybe try bending with a wire coat hanger.
yeah, I got this thing super hot, and it's still kind of kinked a little bit. That's slightly better, I guess. It's only a small little kink up here in the corner.
Looks better.
Yeah, it looks better. It's just not perfect. I don't know if there's a better hose out there that I could order in the future. Of course, I didn't give myself enough room to get the clip all the way on.
Oh.
There we go. Okay, I think I got it now.
There you go.
So there's that.
Steven says, Tim, if you still have trouble later, message on Discord. Switch back to ribbed hosing with my inline CO2 diffuser because of this.
Yeah, okay.
And Laura says, hose, PVCU hose. So you could do a piece of PVC and connect the hose to either side.
Yeah, yep. That would probably be a good remedy as well. All right, so I think it's time to start assembling it.
All right. Fishies. What size tank is this?
75.
Nice.
Actually, I can take this old heater out now.
Something just fell in the water.
Nothing fell in the water. Shouldn't have. I wasn't near it.
Maybe I'm seeing things. Bob, he got a inline thingy-mabobber from China that he bought from Colorado Rocks. No, hold on. What's the name of the place? Colorado Aqua Rocks. I forget the name of the place.
Something like that. Aqua Rocks, Colorado, maybe.
Ah, that's what it is. Aqua Rocks, Colorado.
We're gonna put this along the other edge, just so I'm not fighting that filter. Awesome.
I think we fell.
Yeah, I dropped you. Give me just a second.
Take your time. All better. Bob says not the injector, the CO2 regulator.
Oh, that's a Chinese brand that I got from that company that we were just talking about.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh. Doesn't look great. I've got this whole thing on backwards. So I made a mistake with putting that elbow on. I've got it on backwards.
Oh,
So,
no.
Yeah. Trying to get this tube off from here now. That way I can flip it around.
No worries, Bob. I was confused too.
Okay. Now I think I've got it the right way.
Frank says the J hooks over the tank.
Yep. The J's hooked over the tank. I'll bring the camera over there to give you guys a look in just a second.
Nathan says you should turn around when doing that stuff so the camera can see.
I should what?
Turn around.
I should. Oh.
I'm not sure.
We can bring the camera a little bit closer. All I'm doing right now is attaching the suction cups. So this here's the pipe.
Oh.
And it came with these suction cups here. So I'm just attaching it to the back wall with those. Now I'm going to worry about the placement of all of this after the stream. I just want to at least get it functional for now.
Okay.
And are all my hoses facing down, hopefully? That's one thing I didn't check. I think they are. Okay.
Frank says the inline bubble counter, the nut has to be flipped around so it seals the CO2 hose.
That there should be sealed. It's the orientation that it was originally screwed on there. Okay, so now I'm going to put the intake tube on. I'm going to go the opposite end of the tank. So let me move the camera over here for you so you can see what I'm doing. It's way too tall, so I've got to undo this.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Here.
Again. There we go.
Hi, Dee.
Okay. And the door that we're going to be putting the canister in is on the right side of the tank.
Oh, what the heck.
It's down there.
Bob wants to know if the canister filter is easy to prime. We'll find out.
I have no clue. I've never primed any canister filter.
Are you going to be using any wave makers or power heads for extra flow?
Nope, just the spray bar. I do have a power head if I find that I need it, but I don't think I will. I've been running just the AquaClear 110 on this tank. So
Mark says it's a couple of pumps and it will self-prime.
So I didn't really think this one through. I've got to get these hoses through the little hole in the back, and I'm home alone today. This is going to be interesting. Let me see if I can see back here.
Uh-oh.
There's one.
That was good.
There's two. All right.
Not bad at all.
Okay.
And yes, Dee, it is a 407.
So, do I have to cut this hose, or could I just fit it on there like that? Would that be strong enough, you think?
What do you think, Chad? And here we go. Oh, just jumped. Everybody answered at once. All right. I cut the hose to length. Fishy Biz should be here so we can see how to install a canister. It's supposed to go. I would leave that lockdown thing on it. You need that compression on it, the red cap.
Okay, so I cut it.
There's a lot of pressure coming back out of that canister. They're saying no, you're doing something wrong. Tim, everyone's saying you're doing something wrong.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what you did wrong, but you did something wrong.
Uh-oh. I don't like the sounds of that.
Help us, people. Help us. Wrong end of the hose was used if that rubber came off easily. Put the twist thing above, tighten the hose, then bring the red twister down and tighten. Such good descriptions here. Oh, shit.
Both ends had this same rubber piece on it, and they only gave me one hose for the whole unit. Yeah, I did cut it off afterwards.
Oh.
So this end here is cut. Scotty, can you make my fish tank bigger? I just fed him.
There you go. So where you cut it, is that the intake side or the discharge?
What was that? That was the intake side. Steven, do you want me to send you a link for StreamYard, or what would be easiest?
It's a good idea. Welcome, Poseidon's Pets. Steven said yes.
All right, just send it to your Facebook. Kyle, this is almost as bad as you hanging up that airline a few months ago.
That's what Laura just said.
That was a fun one.
There's Steven.
Hey, Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Hey. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So I want to see where you have the ribbed hosing connected in the tank.
Inside the tank, that's to the intake tube.
Yeah. That's the intake tube. Okay. The intake tube, and how is it? There we go. Can you make that bigger? I can't see.
Yeah. Hold on.
So here's the intake tube, and that's the rib hose.
Okay. Now, there's, in addition to the two rubber ends that were on, you said you got one hose, right? And they were connected on either end?
Yep.
Okay. So what you should have done is cut that hose down the middle, like just chop it in half. And then there are two other rubber connectors that are on probably the intake and the output, right?
I don't think so.
Because it'll connect. Yeah, there's two, like the rubber ends should be on either
there's
end.
a bag of O-rings here that I didn't even see before.
They might be extras
Okay.
for the inside of the canister. But definitely check to make sure there's an O-ring in the canister. You wouldn't want that. But so the one that you cut off there, that one's actually connected to the tubing with silicone. And anything that is running outside of the tank dry like that needs to be sealed with silicone so that you don't get any leaks.
Oh, okay. So this here was the that it came with.
Oh, hold on. Let me.
Here, I'll put it on the. Okay.
There you go.
Right. So there's your. Yep. So there is your rubber connector number one. That one does not need to be silicone. It should just go to the bare end of the rib tubing or whatever tubing you're using. And then that other one that you cut off, what you'll need to do is take a knife, razor blade or something, and just and get that off of there, and then get some silicone and shove it onto the new end that you have there connected to the canister.
Oh, okay.
But use silicone, make sure it's sealed. Yeah, because it's on there permanently. Like that one's not removable. Whereas the ones that connect to your stuff in the tank are removable because it doesn't need to be completely like airtight.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, like Laura just said, can he just flip the hose around?
No, because the other there's one silicone in and there's one that is not. Like it's just the raw end of the tubing because you only get one. You get one tube. You cut it down the middle. Although
I didn't.
If
cut
you're
it
not
down
using
the
other end of the rib tubing,
the other end is attached to the intake. Did I attach that wrong? Maybe.
Oh, okay. So you do have that spare rubber connector then. Yeah. So that's a real okay. So you have the long whole length of the tube and you cut that one piece off. So in that case, you're gonna want to cut that down more, like cut what you have there in half. Because it's not meant to travel like it does. I don't think it has that much head pressure actually for the full length of the tubing.
So I could just
Don't know,
flip this backwards, right?
Say that again, Tim.
I could put this end here into the pump and put the end that I cut onto here.
Yes. Because you don't need both those rubber fittings, just one. And so take that part off. That goes to the canister. Cut half of that tubing off, and then you're good. Yeah, and I forgot you got the Eheim tubing on the other output, so you won't need to fix or glue that other connector because you're using the other E-heim stuff.
So then this would go onto here, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And it's watertight. It's just not like perfectly safely watertight. If it were out of the water, you would want to use silicone.
Oh, okay.
So Nathan's asking why none of mine are siliconed. Plain. So the Marineland comes with plain Jane hose. Is it PVC hosing? Like what is it made of? It's not the rib stuff. It's probably like the E-heim stuff. In which is, if that's the case, then all you need is a barb and a compression fitting for that. The rib stuff does not have the tight seal on its own, hence the rubber connectors. Don't know why the rib tubing is used. Probably because it's more maneuverable, more flexible. I don't know.
I gotta tell you, this makes me appreciate my sponge filters.
Got a lot easier.
Yeah, this is a lot of work for aesthetics.
Okay, so let's check for the O-rings before I forget.
Surely they're extras. I think I remember mine already have them installed, because that would be like the first mistake everybody would make is not installing that O-ring, and then it starts leaking all over the floor. Yeah,
You know
they're in there.
go?
Say again?
Do you know where the O-rings go? Is it these here? So one's in the
Yeah,
bag.
there's two. There's like the biggest one actually goes around the perimeter of that lid, and you can see it in the rim of it towards the top of the lid. It's sort of embedded in there.
The camera's a little close, Tim.
Yeah, it's a little out of frame. But
there we go. That's better.
Yeah, I'm not seeing one in the rim here. So it'll be in the
down
top
in the
piece.
groove, I can't see like that. There's not enough lighting down there in the groove to know if there's one. That would be absolutely bonkers if they don't install one ahead of time.
I don't see it. Let me get this light a little closer for us.
I don't see one.
So it would be right in here, right?
My eyes suck, but I'm not. That's crazy. Did the instruction wait on the check only? Yeah, or like instead of embedded, maybe around that gray lip there. It's really hard for me to see. My eyes are freaking terrible.
Yeah, it's not around here either.
But what about the base?
Huh. Yeah, check the canister side. I might be wrong.
Yeah, definitely not in the base. There's no groove that it could possibly sit in.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, check the manual and see if they
yeah, DD wants you to do the woman
installed.
thing and check the paperwork.
Well, it's the last resort is reading the documentation that the seller provided to use their product that they designed, but sometimes you have to.
And while you do that, Kyle says make sure you fill the canister before you start it. And
oh, there we go. Carefully fit the gasket. Well, man.
Yeah.
At least it's
So
in the manual, because oh man. Instructions are for bad products. Bad products usually have very, very poorly translated from another language English instructions.
So my guess is that it would go up in here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But double check the manual just to make sure. It's been a while. Could be on the outer edge of it. That tells you how long it's been since I've even opened one of my canister filters.
It almost looks like the same spot.
And Fish Rumors here, welcome.
Hey, what's up?
I'll tell you, Fish Rumor Steve, he breeds some amazing fish. We've been bringing them to the club.
What kind of fish has he been bringing? Scotty, what kind of fish has he been bringing?
Scotty is froze. It took me a second to realize it, but he froze in a kissy face position, and that's quite funny. I think I'm going to screenshot that real quick.
You got it?
Yeah, definitely going to do that. And done. So don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
Okay, so this goes on here, right? And then this screws up?
Yep. Yep. Just hand tight is all you need.
Okay. And the same with this green one?
Yep. The problem with those Eheim hoses is they have a really thick outer diameter. So I remember it kind of being a pain. But maybe not. It might be good. Plus, the inner diameter is a little bit smaller than that outlet. So it's going to be pretty snug on there. You won't have to worry too much.
Yeah, this one's kind of hard to get it up over. Trying to screw in this this little corner right here is catching. And it's not inside the fitting.
I'm back. What'd I miss?
I got it.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
You froze, and I took a screenshot while you were frozen.
No doubt.
Do you think that'll be fine like that, or should I try to play with it more?
How deep in there? Like, oh, is there like a little piece peeking out there?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Try again. Okay. Like it might be fine, but this is water and your house, so you know.
Yeah.
Which way do I have to screw this thing?
Spit on it. That's a good idea. That's the wrong way. There you go.
It would help if they gave us some finger room in there between the two.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Keep it upright and straight when you put the compression on there. Perfect.
Okay, there's that. Gonna feed the electric cord through real quick.
Just don't plug it in yet.
Oh no, I've still got to hook up the CO2.
Rachel, howdy. This looks way too complicated.
True story.
Just wait until he has to clean it for the first time.
I'm hoping this cord's going to be long enough. Got to make it all the way in the door off to the left side.
You don't clean them.
No, they're a once every 3-year maintenance thing, right?
At that point in time,
I mean, if water is at least trickling out of the spray bar, then you're good. And yeah, if you get 3 years out of a canister, that might be a decent life. Now these things are like $200. The FX6, well, I got it on sale, that ridiculous Black Friday deal, but they're normally like $300, I think. Clean them. Their gravy is too thin. I think I've got the gravy that's probably built up in my FX6 at this point is like not so much gravy as it is roux.
I agree, DD. What size CO2 tank is that?
That's a 20-pound.
Wow.
Nice. That's how you do it.
Before I cut back on drinking.
There's a better use of CO2.
Yes, absolutely. It's a lot healthier.
But yeah, 20. This is 75 gallon.
Yep.
Yeah, 20 pounds will last you a good while before you have to refill it. Especially with an inline diffuser, goes a longer way.
You put the inline diffuser right below the outflow, right?
Say again?
Uh-oh.
The inline diffuser, you do put it right below the outflow, right?
Yeah, right. I put mine closer like to the canister itself, if that's what you're asking. Not but like not closer to the tank side. Because I mean, the longer you can have CO2 like not be exposed to air, just like travel within the water, the more it gets dissolved in the water before it even reaches the tank, which is like the principle of CO2 reactors. It's like a diffuser, except it's just a big giant tube that kind of holds water and CO2 together for as long as possible before it makes its way to the tank.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So I'm going to want to redo this end too then.
Oh, what did you? Oh, well, I don't know. So you cut it right at the tank.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of worried about
So
there.
if it were me, I would say screw it, and I would just install it just like that right there. And
Okay.
because I mean, we're
If I
not
need more,
talking like, yeah, it's not going to affect it in such a big way that like it's going to be a matter of you refilling your tank several months earlier or something like that. It's negligible. So
oh, okay.
I would just do it that way.
And should there be some sort of clamp on there or no?
Wait, is that an inline diffuser?
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. That's pretty cool looking. It's got a bubble
It's a,
counter on it.
he got it
Interesting.
from
Yeah. So
This is what it is.
he got it from the place you went to with Bex, Steven.
Aqua Rock, Colorado.
oh, okay. Locker Rocks. I didn't see that thing there. That's cool. So you can use, yeah. Do you have worm clamps or something like regular hose clamps?
I could check.
Better safe than sorry. Like as it is now, it probably wouldn't leak a bit too hard and it would pop off and then you'd have a problem.
These?
Yep. There you go. That's what I use. Zip ties don't count. Yeah. Yeah, clamps are good. You can really tighten them down. Yeah, my inline diffusers have compression fittings on either end, so I didn't even think about that.
Big Shrimpin' always having trouble with his dogs farting.
Us too. I don't know which dog does it, but they're on the bed during the day when I'm working, and just the most rancid gas smell comes out of them. Just travels over to the computer. Like the kind of smell where you have to do a double check that they didn't crap somewhere on the floor in the room.
Screwdriver.
Yeah, it's an interesting diffuser there. What brand regulator did you get?
It's the one that Kelly hates.
That she hates,
Yeah.
or that she recommended.
No, it's the one that she hates. I've had it for a couple of years now. Yep. Yeah, it's the F Zone Dual Stage. I've had it for like 2 years now, roughly.
Yeah,
Maybe 3.
I have. I have how many F zones in operation right now? Just 2 now.
Okay, I think that's how it's supposed to be.
That looks right. The clamps are nice and tight and everything.
that's the regulator.
Yeah. Yep, I got one of those with the 2 manifolds on it. Actually, I added a third to it. Yeah, that bubble counter on the diffuser. I mean, I don't think you're going to be paying much attention to that one anyway, right? The bubble counter from the regulator is the one you're going to be looking at.
Right.
That one's tucked away behind the tank. So yeah, so it should make a difference. Yeah,
Okay.
So they make O2 sensors. Can they make? Say again.
Do you think it's time to try to prime it and turn it on?
Fill it with water, and then put the cap on it and make sure it's sealed. The first time I put the lid back on a Fluval 307, I don't know what it was. I guess I didn't push down hard enough on the cap, but I thought I had, because it did clamp shut, but it was not all the way on. So just one thing.
Is it easier to just pour water into here? Is it going to be quicker to just pour the water in?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
Don't they make something, Steven, for in response to Koro's message? Don't they make something for that?
An active monitor for CO2.
Yeah, I thought I saw it.
I don't know. CO2 is usually measured indirectly because, like, the relationship of your pH and your KH, are the amount that your pH drops from it is usually how it's monitored. So that's why I like the pH monitors are kind of your active CO2 sensor, because you just program it to turn off your CO2 at a certain pH, turn it on at a certain pH if you want.
Once that gasket's on there, it doesn't like to release the lid, does it? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's freaking on there. Wait until it has water in it. Then it really forms a nice suction. I thought about getting a pH controller after I had my CO2 disaster in the 90 gallon. I don't know why I didn't. I think I was just kind of not trusting that the pH monitor would be reliable and for an extended amount of time before it needed to be calibrated. And then I didn't trust myself to diligently check on it and calibrate it. And I figure at some point it would become completely useless.
I wish that there were more monitors and testers and stuff like that did not need to be calibrated. I hate calibrating shit.
Yep, it's the maintenance part.
Yeah, definitely annoying.
I love the idea of having a pH meter, and yeah.
Okay, now it's filled up with water. Let's get the hoses back secured. How many times do you usually pull this thing to prime it?
Somewhere between 1 in 600,000, depending on whether it wants to cooperate. But you gotta close it. The see the gray tab, the gray lever, yeah, that actually opens the valve. There you go. And do you have the lid on it like really, really tight, like pushed down all the way, full seal?
Yes, the lid's completely on it.
All right. Yeah, I would personally I will power them on and then pump while it's powered on. Seems to work a little faster. And yeah, as Poseidon's pet said, you'll feel the water flowing into it eventually.
You see it through there. Yep. And you also see it coming through the spray bar a little bit.
That's cool. You might get some air pockets in there. Like the small ones will work themselves out. If you hear it kind of like gurgling very often and making a bunch of noise, then consider the pump again. Yeah, shaking them as well to get the air bubbles out is helpful.
And welcome, Chris's Aqua Zone.
And that gray lever as well, if the flow is too strong for that tank, you can use that to turn it down just a little bit if you need to.
Oh, okay. And do you point your spray bar straight down or towards the front of the glass, or how do you do yours for the best flow?
Just slightly downward, like almost parallel with the surface of the tank, but just turn down ever so slightly. And then in my lidless tanks, I point it a little bit further downward as well, because if I go a little bit too long without a water change and I get some evaporation, it splashes everywhere out of the tank. But you don't want it to like be out, like the spray bar to be shooting water above the surface of the tank. But surface movement and agitation is fine, even with CO2 injection.
Oh, okay. And water's definitely flowing
Yeah,
through.
you don't want a lot of surface agitation, but some is okay, and some is healthier, really, to do it that way. What happened?
Water's flowing through. Look at all those air bubbles coming out of the
Sweet.
hose.
Nice.
I promise that's not all CO2. I hadn't
Yeah.
even turned it on yet. Thank you so much for your help, Stephen. It probably would have been catastrophic mess if you weren't here. You're the best.
I mean, you'll eventually figure it out. Just it happens. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump off then.
Okay.
Well, Stephen, this question is probably better for you. Horo says, "Are you supposed to remove all air stones if you're running CO2?"
You don't have to. Some people, I have some tanks where I have an air stone in there on a like Casa plug, and I turn the air stone on at night when the CO2 is not running. I have, for the longest time, I had a CO2 injected in the plant farm when there was a sponge filter in the corner. It doesn't gas off as much CO2 as you might think.
Oh my!
And I would never say no to anyone wanting to run an air stone. Air stones are helpful.
And welcome, Mike.
What's up, Mike? my bulbitis decided to go for a swim. I see the new flow of the tank is pushing it all around.
Frank says
My
check all the
bulbitis isn't.
connections. Make sure you have no leaks.
Or go to bed and then check your floor in the morning.
Nothing's wet up there. Nothing's wet down here yet. I think we're good.
Cool.
The other connections are down in the water, so they shouldn't matter.
And Kyle brings up a good point. Water sensors for the win.
Yeah, I've got to order myself some.
And Rachel's here. I don't think I said hi to Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
Thank you, Nathan, for dropping the links. Jenna doesn't want to sub to Steven.
So to set up that CO2 regulator, I am going to put it on a timer. I don't have a timer for it right now. I'm going to run over to Walmart tonight and grab that. And I'll get that hooked up tonight. But so that's the end of the project for today.
Nice.
Awesome.
Laura's bragging how her fish room is in the basement with a drain. Kyle overflowed to 75. Water sensor saved me from having a huge mess.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to jump down and be in chat and talk to y'all later.
All right. Thank you so much again.
Happy to help.
Frank has a good idea here. Get a plastic tote to put your fluval canister in. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I do have some plastic totes that I could use, at least temporarily for a day or two while I make sure that it doesn't leak.
All right. Y'all done?
Yeah, I believe I am. Any final thoughts?
I like it.
Like it enough to get your own canister filter?
Not in this apartment.
All right.
I mean, why not try it someday, you know?
Yep.
TJ Autocross has been lurking. Welcome. Let's see here.
Frank's a little bit off on
1 hour, 5 minutes going strong. It's been a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, I'm showing an hour 46 right now.
Yeah.
I started at 6.
Some people use a 5-gallon bucket and put their canister filter in a bucket.
Yeah, I've got one of those laying around here too.
Not bad.
Any other links that I want dropped? You've been doing a really awesome job, Nathan. I can't think of any other links that you didn't hit for us.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Definitely appreciate that.
All right.
Anything else? Okay, I don't see anything else. So with that, thank you so much, Scotty, for hopping up here to keep me company while I did this project.
Absolutely. It was a great learning experience.
Yes, thank you to Stephen P. for hopping up here and fixing all of my mistakes, helping guide me through and make this a little bit easier for me. Nice. Thank you to all of my awesome mods. Thank you for all of my viewers for coming out, showing some support, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.